Pro Tour event. Then it'll be the Premier League in Berlin on Thursday before we go straight into a European Tour in Riesa, the International Darts Open, from Friday all the way through till Sunday. There's an awful lot of money to be won, but not as much as there's going to be next year. You've seen the announcement, I would imagine. A huge increase in prize money, going from 18 million on the tour this year to 25 million. That is what the players are all talking about in the hall here at the Mattioli today. We have a pretty strong lineup, the 128 players. No Van Gerwen, no Luke Humphries. There's a handful of other players missing as well, but they're the only two from the Premier League cohort who are not here. And we start on streaming board 2 with the two-time world champion Gary Anderson against the greatest player that Poland has ever produced in Krzysztof Ratajski. This has been a Pro Tour final in the past. It has already been
140.
A quarter-final on the Pro Tour this year. In fact, 2 events ago. On that occasion, it was Anderson who won it 6-5. He also won that final a couple of years ago over in Hildesheim.
140.
But Anderson, despite being a title winner already this year on this series, Ratajski is back playing proper darts. The sort of stuff that has made him a multiple PDC title winner, Krzysztof Ratajski. He is averaging more than 97 for the year in these events. That puts him in the top 10.
96.
Well, this is a strong start from Anderson. Leaves 1-2-5 after 9. Ratajski cannot leave a finish from 3-4-5, even with a max. Lovely to get.
180.
Doesn't get him to a finish.
$105. 95.
He hates double 10, he says. He's always said it.
No score.
You won't like it anymore after that visit. Krzysztof Ratajski to pick his pocket. Double 8.
Game shot in the first leg.
First leg to Krzysztof Ratajski, the Polish Eagle with a breaker throw. Surviving 4 darts for the leg from the Flying Scotsman. He's only beaten Gary once. That was the first time they met. That was back in 2021.
96. $180. 81.
Prize money for these events is not going to go up for the winner next year. It's still 15 grand in ranking money if you win one of these. That's not going to increase.
140.
Won't increase for the runner-up either, but it's below that, where there are big jumps.
96.
Should mean those players outside of the top 8, top 16, Premier League and World Series cohort, all those lot, they'll be the ones supported by that. Once again, Anderson scores well in this leg, even better than in leg 1.
$139.
20 and ball. Or double 5.
80.
Well, he's had darts to win both the opening legs. Krzysztof Ratajski took out 70 in the opening leg. Bullseye will complete an 89 finish. Oof, very nearly 2-0, but this can be awkward.
Game shot in the second leg.
Made to look very easy. Break back immediately for the Flying Scotsman. Good start to this game. Not dissimilar to when they met a couple of events ago. Anderson averaging about 104 on that occasion to Ratajski's 98-99.
129.
It's that sort of ballpark we're looking at here. Anderson, the top seed on this board, seeded number 15 here today.
96.
The other seeded player on this board, another Scotsman, Cameron Menzies.
125.
You've got a couple of Germans who could be very dangerous. Florian Hempel, who is mercurial to say the least. Nico Springer, who is on the rise. Nico Springer taking on Benjamin Royce of Denmark. Hempel will face Dimitri Vandenberg.
180.
Ratajski with a second maximum. Had one in every leg in this game so far. 2 for Ratajski, 1 for Gary.
132.
Anderson keeps on leaving finishers after 3 visits to the board. Ratajski's going to join him on a better one, though.
180.
Back to back for Krzysztof. And the chance goes.
75.
Single 13. For double 16. 11 darter Krzysztof Ratajski. This is the sort of stuff that Krzysztof Ratajski is playing this year. He has had, by his own standards, a couple of years where he's been off it. He was an absolute Pro Tour monster, Krzysztof Ratajski, for a number of years. Won 3 without a tour card in 2018, and then just carried on winning 2019, 2020, 2021, multiple titles. Had a bit of an issue with his throw, looked like he was getting a sort of dartitis, kind of stutter in his throw. It was very prevalent one year at the Masters, and just seemed to be struggling.
84.
But works his way back to a standard where he picked up another title. It was Players' Championship 9, this one, back in 2023. But it's this year where things seem to be going back to where Krzysztof was at his peak. And at his peak, he would just average 98 all day, all week, all year.
168.
Great setup shot from Gary Anderson. He's first to a finish. He's down to a finish after 3 visits again, as he has been in every single leg. But Krzysztof Ratajski is going to be in a good position to take a 3-1 lead here, because this is world-class darts on the pair of them. Tops. Oh, how about this? Oh, that is magnificent. Gary Anderson. The setup shot, the finish. It's a 4-visit leg of his own, 2 apiece. 110 averages, the pair.
$180. 140.
Can Gary keep this little streak of perfect darts going? He has to after that. He has to. He has gone 168, 134 out, and then back-to-back 180s to start the next leg. He has thrown 12 perfect darts in a row. 3 more, and he's got the 9 darter and the lead in this game. Treble 19. Double 12 for Gary Anderson. This is absolutely mind-boggling.
Gary Anderson.
Gary Anderson, it is visit after visit of perfection. 9 darter from the Flying Scotsman in a game where he is averaging closer to 120 than 110 right now.
100.
He is not missing. Oh, he's just missed. Well, it brings the streak of perfection to an end, but Gary Anderson with a 9 darter, yet another one this year. I think that takes the tally to 17 across the PDC.
134. 137.
Hit a 9 darter back in Leicester, or here in Leicester, I should say, in Players' Championship 5. That was against Ryan Joyce, and he needed it because he only won that game 6-5.
97.
We could be getting to the end of this game, and the 9 darter is the difference.
131. 96.
Treble 17. For double top.
71.
Well, Gary Anderson, it's another leg where he's had a dart at double. It might get away from him because Krzysztof Ratajski isn't missing much either. This is magnificent. Darts of the highest quality from the pair of them.
180.
It would not surprise you if he's on the 9 again in a moment. It would not surprise you if he hit another 9. Gary Anderson looks like he can do anything right now.
59.
Well, he's not going to hit a second perfect leg, Gary Anderson.
93.
Not in this leg anyway. The 54-year-old. Been playing darts for decades and yet
140.
can conjure up such magic.
$180. 58.
16 for double. Chalk up an 11 darter for Gary Anderson, and we are now approaching Gary Anderson. I mean, he's unlikely to break a record,
99.
but he's not far off. He's averaging around about 120.
95.
123.5 is the record for a broadcast game of darts. Peter Wright did that against Krzysztof Ratajski, actually, in a 6-0 win.
99. 123. 58. 134. 134.
Well, the 149 will not go for Gary Anderson.
59.
And incredibly, we could have a level game at 4-all. Needs the treble. Does not get it.
79.
Does tidy things up. Gary Anderson, is he going to go on the 20s? No, he goes straight at the ball and pins it in the centre to leave double top. Great marker, pins the double. It's aggressive, but when you're playing like this, you can kind of do what you want because Gary Anderson is hitting more than he's missing, it feels like.
180.
Half a dozen 180s for Gary Anderson, who is still averaging around the 119 mark. It is darts from the gods.
139. 58. 140. 96. 180.
Krzysztof Ratajski is probably going to lose this game. He might lose it right now because this has been unbelievable. Oh, it's a match dart miss by Gary Anderson. Nearly won it with a 167. And Krzysztof Ratajski can't pinch the leg. That's probably that. Double 8.
9 scored.
Right at the end, Gary Anderson. has just started missing.
Game shot.
Double A is pinned for a 13-dart break. And this game is still alive. Krzysztof Ratajski, a hold of throw here, and he's averaging 105. Quite capable of holding his throw here and taking it to a last leg decider. 128, the best darts players in the world in this room today, and they're going to be playing for the next few hours. And it's unlikely there will be a game to match this in terms of quality. Because this is silly.
$58. $59. $132.
Got to be clever with his work here. And
92.
Anderson once again down to a finish after 3 visits to the board. Most of the time it's been better finishes than that. But he's just missed the 167 to win the match.
138.
Can he win it with a 170? The answer is no, and Krzysztof Ratajski is going to get a couple of darts to take us to a last leg decider. Somehow, the Polish Eagle has managed to live with Gary Anderson. And he does take us all the way. What a game of darts. 115 plays 105, the averages. Anderson has the darts. He has missed out on a couple of legs where he's missed doubles. But Ratajski, credit to him. Machine-like in how he's stuck to his task. But that's a missed opportunity. A score of 100 is a poor score for Anderson in this game.
140. $122. $180.
Absolutely sublime.
$95.
Double 12. Double 6 is there. It is a 12-darter to cap a brilliant display. Gary Anderson, some start, he says. Yes, it was. Look at that. 11.